All right, let's talk about these flies. Now, if you didn't watch yesterday's mini message, I'd recommend you to head back, watch yesterday's video so you get the full context here. But we're just going to read one verse today. It's just verse 24 in Exodus 8. It says, "And the Lord did just as he had said. A thick swarm of flies filled Pharaoh's palace and the houses of his officials. The whole land of Egypt was thrown into chaos by the flies." So this is a swarm, literally a swarm. It's a Hebrew word, arab. And that word swarm doesn't specify what the insect was. But we move forward and we look at this word that's translated flies. This is discussed in the book of Psalms, in Psalm 78:45, where it says these swarms devoured them, right? This psalm kind of celebrates the plagues and what God did. Devoured them. Then I go and I look at this word that's translated flies. And some people have said fleas. Some people have looked at it, called them sand flies. But I think, and a lot of scholars think, the best translation here and the way to think about this is mosquitoes. Now, we live in South Florida. If you're watching us and you're in Okeechobee right now, we live in a swamp, okay? That's basically what it is, a swamp. I mean, and at certain times when it starts to rain and there's standing water everywhere, just mosquitoes will be all over the place, right? Just swarming. I've had them get in my house at times to the point I was just walking around with a fly swatter just slapping the walls, right? And had to go back and clean the walls. It was great fun. Just loved it, everything about it. I was actually asleep a few weeks ago, and I woke up and I heard a little buzzing in my ear. There was a mosquito in my bedroom. It was the most annoying thing on the planet. And so while I was asleep, it had bit my hand just like 5 or 6 times, and my hand was just itching all the next day. It was so annoying. So if these are mosquitoes, as a lot of scholars think, can you imagine mosquitoes covering everything, covering the ground, swarming the people, all inside your house? Can you imagine the miserableness of this? This sounds absolutely terrible. All right, this is bad. And the Psalm 78 passage that talks about them devouring the people makes a lot of sense in this. So here these people are covered by these thick swarms of what I think is mosquitoes, and no one in Egypt was spared from this, but the Israelites were. And they were thrown into chaos. I mean, you can imagine that, like mosquitoes swarming around you, man, you're swatting, you're hitting, covering the ground all in your house, just thick swarms of them everywhere you go, biting you, you're slapping them off of you. Can you imagine what that was like? Chaos reigned. And this did something similar to what the plague of gnats did. The plague of gnats hindered the Israelites from being able, the Egyptians from being able to worship, because they would have been covered in these, and that would have made them considered unclean, right? These bugs were unclean. So once again, we're hindering worship in these 2 plagues, and this one especially, making life a little bit miserable to say the least. See you guys later.